4. We got the minion damage, which is not exactly what we need. 5, minion damage again. And a good one, too, or minion life this time. 6. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Being able to run as he shoots the moon to the fans here in Green Bay.
That is a disgusting act.
So, what exactly was happening there, other than me going, holy shit, another like 10 times after that? So, I'll walk you through what I was trying to do, and then what actually happened. So, in brief, the skill that I'm using, called Righteous Fire, is a skill that can be socketed into a helmet with only 4 linked sockets, so 3 supports, rather than the usual chest or 2-handed weapon where you get the main gem and then 5 supports, 6 link. The reason for this is because Righteous Fire can be pretty easily supported by some of these item mods that can roll on a specific type of helmet. The type of helmet that these mods can roll on is an Elder influenced helmet. So if you look at the upper left and right hand corners of the label on this, the Hypnotic Brow Royal Burgeonet, you see the little purple and gray plus signs. It means it's an Elder influenced item. And some of the mods that can roll specifically on Elder influenced items mimic a support gem. So it's like you have another linked support gem. And the goal is to craft a helmet that has at least one of these, preferably one of them with another guaranteed support mod from the Essence of Horror. So on helmets, it says socketed gems deal 30% more elemental damage, which is effectively, that's about the damage that you get from a support gem. So that acts as like a pseudo support. And then in a best case scenario, this guaranteed Essence mod and 2 of the fake supports that can roll on an Elder helmet. And so previously, before this league, if you wanted to do that, you just have to take these Essences of Horror and just hit them over and over again on the helmet. So every time you would get these socketed gems deal 30% more damage, and you just have to roll until eventually you got both mods. And then like you pray maybe you get either life or an open prefix to craft life into, but really just as long as you get the guaranteed essence mod and the two other support mods, you feel like you're good to go. But that was hard. That was really hard to do. So this is Craft of Exile. If you haven't seen it, it's a site that lets you estimate approximately how many attempts and how much currency you'll need to roll various items with various mods. You input what mods you want, and it'll tell you about how long it'll take to do it. So we've got a helmet right here. I'm going to indicate that it is an Elder influenced helmet, and we're going to indicate that we're going to be crafting it with essences, specifically an Essence of Horror, which is what we used. And back in the day, the way you'd have to do this is you'd say, all right, I'm just going to roll these essences until I get both supported by concentrated effect. Can influence Righteous Fire. You don't care what level it is, 16, 18, 20, just get it on there somehow. And then that's a prefix, and then as a suffix, you want supported by burning damage. As you can see, there are a lot of competing prefixes and suffixes that you can get, so you have to kind of roll through this a bunch. Like, you don't care about the minion damage, the minion life. Even the immolate doesn't help this particular skill. So you have a lot of crap to sift through that you actually don't want those at all. They're just taking up a mod slot and doing nothing. And so if you want these 2 mods guaranteed with the essence, it's going to be about 283 essences. And keep in mind, these essences, look at here, are costing 23 chaos a piece. That's a ton. That is 6,500 chaos. So if you divide that by the 180 about that an Exalt is worth in chaos, it's around 36 Exalt on average to roll that the old-fashioned way. It's a lot of money, and you might not even hit it in 36. I mean, it's RNG, right? You might just keep rolling and waste 50 Exalts on it. There's no guarantee. So what most people do for starters, and it's what I did, is you settle for 1. This is what I was using before. I rolled the socketed gems deal elemental damage, more elemental damage until I got one of the 2, burning damage or concentrated effect. It happened to be burning damage, and by good fortune, I got some okay mods. I got a mod that was a little bit of life and a little bit of armor together, and it had a space for me to craft life. Perfect. Great. Worked for a while. I wanted to make a better one. I wanted to try and get both. There is a better way this league to get both. It involves these items right here, recombinators. If you've played in previous leagues, recombinators are kind of like awakener orbs for all items. You slam two items together and get one item as a result with a kind of combined series, a random series of mods from each item. It kind of picks one from here, one from there. You don't really have a choice which is which, and it kind of slams them together. So the goal, what I was attempting to do, was instead of starting with one Elder Helm, was to start with two. And as I was going to make things more difficult on myself, more expensive on myself, by having both of the bases that I use, the helmet bases, not only be Elder influenced, but also have an enchant on them. The Labyrinth enchant, 40% increased righteous fire damage. That way, whichever of the two it chose as the main base, I would still get this righteous fire damage. The drawback to that is, instead of it being, some dozens of chaos to buy the base, it's 2 or 3 exalt per helmet to buy the base. And again, no guarantee that you get this on the first try. You slam the two helmets together, and you might just have deleted one, and you get one that doesn't have what you want. So you might have to do this several times and keep buying these 2 or 3 Exalt helmets in between, and probably having to use the Essence spam in between. The actual tactic would be that you would Essence spam until you got, you keep clicking that Essence of Horror until you got something that looked like basically the helmet that I had previously. You craft some life on it, you got elemental damage, you got burning damage, then you take a second helmet, and then whichever one you got on here, burning damage or concentrated effect, doesn't matter which, you take the other one of the same type, and you use alteration orbs. So you just make it a normal item, you bring it up to a magic item, and you just spam alteration orbs until you see the other one of the two mods that you want. And then you just use an armor recombinator, you slam them together, and you pray. You pray that you get the maximum, or the whatchamacallit, the more elemental damage and the two modifiers together. That was my plan. That was the intent. So I bought 2 bases to start with, and what you saw was me doing the first step, the very first step, which was hitting it with essences. You expect mathematically to get either or of the two, maybe 8 or 10 essences to get either concentrated effect or burning damage. As you saw, within 6 attempts, I got not only one, but both, and not only both, but both of them rolled at level 20, which is the highest that they can roll naturally. I also got a life roll, and not a bad one either. It's middle of the road, 54 life. It's a little bit worse than what you would get if you crafted life, but because it had a life roll, which is respectable, it left me an open prefix to craft level of socketed AoE gems. Righteous Fire is, as you can see from the tags, an AoE gem, so this is a huge bonus. It gives you both area of effect, your Righteous Fire gets wider, and also it's a plus gem level, which for spells is huge. So this is an incredible roll, frankly, and I just kind of want to show you, that's the wrong one. I want to show you how ridiculously unlikely it is to get level 20, and I got middle of the road life here. And to do that should take you 26,000 essences, or around 600,000 chaos. And 600,000 chaos is in the ballpark of 3,300 exalted orbs, which is then in turn, let's do a little bit more math here. A mirror is 64,200 chaos, so you go, there we go, 64, about 9 mirrors if you were to keep going and going and going until you got this outcome. Now, needless to say, you wouldn't. You would not spend 9 mirrors to get this. It would just be unattainable. You would just keep going until you got 2 of the, maybe level 16, level 18 of the mods that you wanted, and maybe if you're lucky you get a space for some life. But this outcome, which should have taken 26,000 essences of horror, I did it in 6, which is just completely mind-blowing, and this is my endgame helmet.